Move and be moved by these savings right now at Team Mazda. Choose a new 25 Mazda CX-50, Mazda CX-70, or Mazda CX-90 and get low 1.9% financing. Discover the Mazda experience and save right now at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda.
James Spader.
What a great actor.
I need to look up his
He's
IMDb.
in a lot of stuff.
We talk about him often. We were just talking about Michael Douglas or Michael J. Fox last Friday.
It was Michael J. Fox because he's going back to TV, right?
Yeah.
Back to the Future? Why did we? What were we talking? Someone brought that up. Good morning, by the way. Welcome to 9 News Now. A viewer commented on. You guys were talking about Michael J. Fox the other day, and I loved the show that he was on. And I can't remember how we even started talking about Michael J. Fox. Was it Back to the Future?
Yeah, I mentioned Back to the Future that it was kind of a little known fact that originally he wasn't the guy for Back to the Future.
That's it. Elmer Fudd was supposed to be.
Elmer Fudd.
Fudd.
It was Eric Stoltz.
That's same difference.
And they shot half of the movie with Eric Stoltz, and they're out there. The prints are out there, and they said he wasn't funny enough, so they went with Michael J. Fox.
That's it.
But I wasn't sure. He's done some TV stuff here and there, because I'm thinking all the way back to Family Ties.
Yeah.
I mean, good grief, that was back in the 80s.
Well,
that was a good show.
done some movies. He was with Michael Douglas in The American
Great
President.
actor.
That's right.
Yes.
Great movie.
He was
Great
right
movie.
there, a speechwriter for him. And then we were talking about James Spader,
Yes.
who was on The Office and a lot of other things. He's a
ton of things.
But I only know him as an older actor. I don't know anything that he's done as a young actor, so I've got to look
Well,
up.
he was in Wall Street.
Yeah, the OG Wall Street with
didn't
Michael
remember
Douglas.
that
That was when he
until
was
you
young, so his look has changed a lot.
Yeah. When would you guess that came out?
85, 86?
Yeah, mid-80s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a great show.
Oh.
Oh, you know what? You guys can't see this, but I'm looking across the shoulder. Jared has a huge live shot of a yacht.
That is a nice yacht. I'm going to show them.
Where is that located?
That's Naples. So
Naples,
actually, that's
Florida?
on the. Thank you so
Thank you,
much,
Bobby.
Bobby. I appreciate that. Yeah. So that's actually not on the Atlantic side. That's on the Gulf side. And of course, as we all know, the Florida Gulf Coast looks a lot different than the Texas and Louisiana
I like
portion.
the Gulf Coast. If I lived in Florida, I want to live on the Gulf,
Oh, yeah.
not on the Atlantic.
Oh,
Yes.
big time,
You know
big
it-
time. Although they don't avoid hurricanes if that's where
No,
you're going.
no.
And I'm seeing people get on this yacht. I would work that yacht just to get on that yacht.
I still don't understand
Below
how
deck.
that side. Oh yeah, we could do that. I still don't understand how the beaches along that side have the white sand, have blue water. It makes no sense when you go to Destin and you see the beautiful layout that is Destin, and think that okay, the Gulf Coast is not that far. How is there such a
I think it's
Mississippi,
difference?
it's the Mississippi River, the Mississippi River, because it dumps all the sediment. Not only that, but Galveston is the fourth busiest port city and ship channel in the world. So you've got all the ships, the cruise ships, the big frigates that are going through there, and the Mississippi River dumping sediment. So all that kind of gets dredged up. That's why. But once you go far enough to the east of the Mississippi River, it gets a lot better. Once you get to, what is it, Gulf Shores, Alabama, it starts to clear up.
That's where you start to see it.
And then when you get to the Florida Panhandle, it really
But hey,
starts to.
don't diss the Galveston and the Grand Isle
No.
beaches,
That's
man.
for stomping ground. I know.
Stomping grounds, and that
Yes.
was, I still enjoy going to that.
Yeah,
Everyone says that.
My first taste of the South when I moved down to the Houston area, I set foot in Galveston. I couldn't believe how warm the water. I was like, up north where I'm from, for the water to be that warm, usually you have to walk behind like a little kid who just like did a little something.
now.
It's all of a sudden super cold. And you just get
Yes.
this jet stream of warmth. It's like, oh man.
You know what someone just did, and you step right into it.
You know what's up. But it's a free in the ocean. It's a free for all over there,
You
man.
know, you got to watch that though, because I see people floating on their little rafts like all day long, and then people are bringing them beer, and they're like, it's going somewhere.
In that drink of theirs.
That's right.
Sure is.
That's right. Well, now that
Another-
we've made your breakfast cereal
Well.
a little bit more of appetizing.
Yeah, all the fun things that we do on 9 News Now. Something else I've learned about Texas from you this morning. So Miss Louisiana is actually in Monroe. It's happening this Saturday.
right.
We're going to crown a 2025 Miss Louisiana. You were telling us about Miss Clute.
Yeah, a Clute in Clute, Texas.
How do you spell that?
Klute, I
Clute,
think.
Texas.
Clute, Texas. And they have a mosquito festival, and they crown a mosquito. They
They
crown
crown
a
like an actual
mosquito.
mosquito.
No, they crown a lady.
They
that's-
crown, and they call her Miss Mosquito?
or mosquito.
Mosquito.
Okay.
My
Interesting.
state pageant was held in Clute.
Mosquito.
Okay.
Yes.
Mosquito.
Mosquito. We got to see the crown on that.
Yeah, I'll look that up.
Yeah.
But that's a real festival.
I love that. Is that near Beaumont?
About 2 hours, 2.5 hours away from Beaumont. It's not that close.
Okay.
I wonder if they get more mosquitoes over there than we do here in Louisiana. You know, Matt always calls it the Louisiana state bird, which
That's right.
he's not wrong.
That's right.
Yeah,
Don't
thankfully
kill them,
I
they
haven't
eat
seen
stuff.
too many of them.
What is it,
They
spiders?
eat stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
Those things,
Mosquitoes are
man.
more pesky. They just carry West Nile. I'm sure they do something
they
for the
carry all
environment.
kinds of stuff. They're like little
Yeah.
flying vampires. Those things will
Yeah,
suck
they
your
are.
blood. But they go after certain kinds of people. If you're hot-blooded or you run hot,
Mm-hmm.
they tend to like hot-bodied people that sweat more than others.
I'm A
Great.
positive. They don't bother me. They don't like A positive blood.
Really?
I don't know.
You don't get.
I be positive you're lying.
I'd be positive. I like
Oh,
that.
my words. All right.
Yeah.
Well, what are we going to do now?
I suppose weather.
Let's do it.
It's the same rinse and
We're going to talk
repeat.
about your boat. Could you classify that as a catamaran? Because the other day
No.
we showed a catamaran. It looked like that though. Liz, you
No.
remember? It was a
You
beautiful
just gotta
catamaran.
buy one and find
That
out,
is a
Jared.
yacht.
You gotta buy.
You gotta buy it and tell
That
us.
is a
the
yacht.
I
report
mean, I
back.
don't know. I might not be able to finance this thing, guys. We're gonna have to go in like as a group here. Can you put a yacht? Can you put a yacht on layaway?
Let's find out.
Is that like a thing? You know, you pay later. You know, we're good for it. I think. I don't know. 79 feels like 83. That's here though. That's at BTR. So Baton Rouge off to a really warm start. But yesterday, look at that. High temperature stalling out in the upper 80s. I think we might be able to do that yet again for today. It all depends on the timing of a couple showers. As for yesterday, there were a couple of holes in the action, but we did register about 4/10 of an inch in and around Baton Rouge. Not bad for a day's work. And here we go again, just like yesterday, although a little bit less progressive on the radar. We got a cluster of non-severe storms developing south of Lafayette, and as they cruise across the Atchafalaya Basin, it really looks like they lose their punch. At first, it looked like it was a sure thing that they were moving to Baton Rouge, but they're really starting to weaken a little bit. So our rain chances stay low. It's not zero, but they're low for the next couple of hours. And look at Texas. You don't see much over there. That's about as quiet as they've started the day in quite some time. So first, let's show the graph model. The graph says that we're going to stay quiet right up until about midday. This is noon. A couple of thunderstorms begin to fill in on radar. Nothing severe. We are not expecting any severe weather over the next several days. That's one piece of good news. The other piece of good news is we're not really expecting a flood threat either. And there you see the temperatures hopefully will be held down in check. Now that's the graph. The HRRR is going to take those showers that are in the Lafayette area and hold them together over our neck of the woods. But I got to tell you, they were showing this also at 7 a.m. That hasn't panned out. So usually the HRRR has been the better model, but right now I think it's kind of struggling a little bit to get a handle on the situation. Nevertheless, both models agree that we're going to get scattered convective thunderstorms in the afternoon, a very typical summertime weather pattern. I know the timing varies from model to model. As we track the tropics, the Atlantic, the Basin, the Gulf, all quiet, all good. But look at this, the Eastern Pacific. In the Eastern Pacific, they've got the E storm. They are already 5 names deep into this list in a very early part of the season. And by the way, Eric is expected to become a Category 2 hurricane staying out of the Gulf, so that's good news. We're still going to be wedged in between these two big areas of high pressure, and that little weakness there is going to be just enough so we could sneak a couple of convective thunderstorms in the afternoon. I'll start you off small at about a 20% chance, take you up to about 60% at 3 in the afternoon, and yes, I think cautiously optimistic we'll stay in the upper 80s for today. Then for tonight, down to 74, an early shower or storm, no big deal there, but we are trending in the right direction in the 10-day. So if you've got plans, if you've got outdoor plans this weekend, keep them. I think you're going to be good, especially on Saturday. I'm still holding at this 30%, which, by the way, this time of year, given this weather pattern, that's about the best that we're going to get, right? Officially summer on Friday, ha, and then temperatures around 93 for several days. It is now 7:11. Johnny A., hopefully the roads, they've been pretty quiet, right?
Yeah, not bad at all. I believe that school being out has something to do with that. There is our little bit of traffic coming out of Denham Springs this morning. Just a little brake tapping left over here at Range. Then you'll slow down a little bit around Millerville on I-12. Kind of widen our shot if you're going east-west, I-10 east or west, and the Causeway over in the New Orleans area. All that traffic's moving very well. So there's our lighter traffic than we are used to seeing in Denham. Here's the 1012 exit right here on I-10. I-12 takes you over to I-10. All of that's looking really good this morning. Our drive times are fine. 7:11 on the clock. This is WAFB 9 News Now. Do it every morning at 7, again at 3:30 in the afternoon, 9 at night. Liz Coe will be back with a couple of headlines. Stay with us.
Here at 7:13, we start with our top story of the morning. A Baton Rouge motorcycle officer is fighting for his life in a local hospital after authorities tell us they believe he was in a targeted attack. You can see our web story there. The East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office says 41-year-old Gad Black and his girlfriend, 40-year-old Asia Raby, are behind bars for the attack on Sergeant Caleb Eisworth. We're told this happened on Jewel Road right around 11 o'clock Monday morning. You see there some of the mugshots in that story. Well, we're told Black was arrested and charged with attempted first-degree murder of a police officer, and later on, that's when his girlfriend was charged after the fact to attempted first-degree murder of a police officer. Now, the sergeant, we're told, has 2 broken legs, a broken arm, but he is showing some encouraging signs of improvement here. His friends and family are asking you to keep him in your prayers, and we'll update you on his condition. We also want to let you know that East Baton Rouge Parish residents are invited out to a meeting to talk about flood prevention efforts. The Amite River Basin Commission is hosting that meeting today. It's happening at the Bluebonnet Branch Library on Bluebonnet Boulevard in Baton Rouge. Tonight's meeting begins at 6 o'clock. It'll last until 8, and you can see some other locations for that as well. There you heard it. Johnny Asian's wearing his LSU tie. That Game 8 will pick back up today at 10 o'clock this morning. They're going to pick back up at the top of the 4th inning with UCLA at bat. 5-3. LSU leads so far. That weather delay put us back, and we couldn't finish that game. So today, 10 o'clock, we are back at it.
Right now is Tundra time at Team Toyota, where you can get 0% financing on a new 25 Tundra or get $3,000 customer cash plus $1,000 trade-in allowance. Find these savings and so much more right now at Team Toyota, I-12 at O'Neill.